Alright, so as you guys can see, the countdown to Black Friday 2022 is here, and with that we have some amazing rewards coming. Unfortunately, I know some of you guys are not going to be happy with this because the rewards that people were hoping to see in here this year are not in here. And what I'm talking about is the fact that we now have tier 4 as a thing in Marvel Future Fight, and the tier 4 materials like Carbonadium and Soul of the Faltines is what you would expect to see in here, not tier 2 materials like Black Antimatter and Chaos Normstones. Even Mandalay Gem Fragment and Awakened Crystals are not really in high demand anymore with the recent changes to Alliance Battle and Squad Battle basically being crunched into one. You can get so much Mandalay Gem Fragments and Awakened Crystals. So for somebody like me who was playing Squad Battle before, I have it in excess. And for those of you guys who were pretty much ignoring Squad Battle before, now you're just racking up way more Awakened Crystals and Mandalay Gem Fragments than ever before. Now, as a comparison to last year's Black Friday event, you can see it's pretty much the exact same thing. All they really did is just double the Black Antimatter and the Chaos Normstones. You can see from 100 to 200 is literally the exact same thing. It's kind of wild because the landscape of the game has changed significantly since last year with the implementation of tier 4 characters. I know some of you guys were hoping to see a tier 4 selector. That's not going to happen for at least another 2 years, okay? I personally don't think you're going to see tier 4 selectors in Marvel Future Fight until every character can be tier 3. So get that out of your head. Now obviously we're still missing the tier 3 selector, but that's going to come later on. As you can see right here, the options include Spider-Gwen, Elsa Bloodstone, Moon Knight, Medusa, Hulk Amadeus Cho, Red Guardian, Dr. Octopus, Red Skull, Shadow Shell, War Tiger, Silk, Bullseye, Heimdall, Sif, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Human Torch. So you have some good options in here and some really bad ones, some that's been forgotten by the devs for the longest time, like Elsa Bloodstone, one of the first characters to get a transcendent skill, and still to this day she's never gotten a uniform. It's just so sad to see. Obviously, if you're somebody that doesn't have any of these options, the best one for you to pick up is Moon Knight because he's the only tier 4able character from this. And even if you're not going to tier 4 him, just getting him to level 72 is going to make him superior to every other character here for PvE content. However, you have some support characters in here. If you pick up their uniforms, people like Sif is going to be really useful. However, keep in mind that we're still trying to figure out the timeline for Shadow Shell because we recently got tier 4 for Blue Dragon, a new uniform for the Syrian Sunbird, nothing for War Tiger, and nothing for Shadow Shell. So people, myself included, have been speculating that we're probably going to see a tier 4 Shadow Shell by the end of the year. And the reason why we're leaning heavily on Shadow Shell is because of the fact that we have so many combat tier 4s already. We have Moon Knight, we have Carnage, we have Hulk, we have Namor, we have Venom, and we have the possibility of getting a tier 4 Black Panther. So the likelihood of us getting a tier 4 War Tiger is very slim unless they're just trying to like release all of the combat tier 4s first and then go release other tier 4s, which I think would be a terrible thing because the first characters to get tier 4s are the first ones to be replaced because power creep is a real thing. So I don't want them to give all of the combat characters tier 4 first and then forget about them for 5 years. So hopefully they take a break and go to some of the other classes. So for any of you guys who are wondering where the token event for the tier 3 selector is, this one started around the 25th, as you can see right here, last year. So I expect it to be the exact same thing this time around. And it's more than likely going to be the same type of events where you get a discount for the crystal characters like Emma Frost, Blue Dragon, Iceman, etc. And obviously if you want to buy these guys, which you shouldn't because they're not really relevant. Adam Warlock maybe, but he's going to be on sale again for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, so maybe you want to wait until then. However, the discount here is usually bigger, but more than likely this is going to kick off in about 2 weeks when the sales start happening for everything. Hopefully we get some better stuff this year because like I said, tier 4 is a thing. It's a game changer, so they can't just release the same events from last year and expect people to be good with it. I'm also hoping that this goes up to 5x instead of 3x. Honestly, I don't feel the need to play with reforging CTPs. Let me know what you guys think. Now that Rage is reforgeable, I see a lot of you guys chasing Brilliant Rages, but unless this goes up to like a 35% chance, I don't see myself touching this thing, because I've been re-rolling the same Brilliant that I got last Black Friday until now, and I still, a year later, haven't gotten it rolled properly. 35 plus CTPs invested, and it's worse than when I started. It's kind of wild. So yeah, getting a Brilliant is just so hard, and then re-rolling a Brilliant is just a nightmare. So for me, I stay away from them things. I'd rather just play the game with Mighty. Now the final thing that I really want to touch on in this, and I'm hoping somebody from the dev team is watching, this right here is one of the best things in the game if you actually spend money on the game. And last year I was actually able to invest quite a bit of crystals in it. Keep in mind that if you're trying to play the bingo, it's about 30,000 crystals to get all of the rewards. But if you're an intermediate player that actually spends money on the game, you can set yourself up for a full year with about $300 worth of crystals. Actually, if you buy the crystals on Black Friday, it's essentially you spend 150 bucks, you play the roulette, you get a bunch of Mega Mythic uniform tickets, Mighty and Brilliant CTPs, artifacts, Mega Rank Up ticket, Odin's Blessings, plus all of the rewards over here. But what I really want to talk about is that this year the devs absolutely need to revamp the reward pool for this thing. Okay, I don't have a problem with the tickets staying in here, even though realistically they don't release new characters that often, so the tickets should go in my opinion. But fine, if they want to leave them there. I think however they should consider taking out these things, bro. Like, even though the cost for them is really low, and if you're a cheapskate or if you're just trying to be as frugal with your crystals as possible, the best things to buy is just to buy these over and over and over again, so you complete the bingo as cheaply as possible. I think if you just buy all of these that cost 250, you can actually complete the bingo for about 2,500 crystals, which is significantly cheaper than the 40,000 crystals it usually costs me, because I go for these things, or at least I used to go for them. But this year the value of Mandalay gem fragments, Awakened crystals, Essence of Dimension, Titan component pack, all of this has dropped significantly because story mode auto farming and the fact that we now have tier 4 characters in the game. So in my opinion, to keep this thing spicy and keep whale spending and tempt free-to-play players into spending crystals on this bingo this year, what they need to do is actually add Soul of the Faltine, Celestial Essence, and Carbonadium. Specifically those 3 things. They can add other things if they feel like it, but I think those 3 things in place of some of the other rewards, or in addition to the other rewards, will actually get people like me who have so much CCF and all these other rewards already to spend a significant amount of crystals on the bingo. If they don't do that this year, I'm probably just gonna buy the cheapest stuff in here, so the 250 reward, and just like get to the end of the bingo and get all of the CTPs. That's pretty much what I'm gonna do personally. And I'm not gonna lie, I do like the Odin's Blessing selector, so hopefully they actually improve this thing this year. These rewards I don't think necessarily need to be changed, right? Just a regular CTP, a Mighty CTP, and a Brilliant CTP. I think that's enough incentive, plus the 5 and 6 star artifact. Trust me, these are worth spending 30,000 crystals for. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. But the rewards that you have to purchase for crystals, however, I would like to see these improve slightly, or just new rewards added in, because the landscape of the game has changed a little bit. Well, not a little bit, a lot of bits, honestly. Tier 4 is a big deal. So guys, leave me your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about this event right here? Are you one of the people who's upset that they didn't add in Soul of the Faltine and Carbonadium, even though if they had put it here, knowing them, they would have put like maybe 20. You know what I'm saying? 20 Carbonadium, maybe 50 Soul of the Faltine, and that would be it. But even that will be better than this at this point. Come on, man. We're long past tier 2s. Like, why are you giving out tier 2 materials? Sure, you use them for tier 3 characters and getting their gears up and stuff, but like, especially Norm Stones of Chaos, bro, you use it so little. After you've used it to master a tier 2 native, like, you don't really use this shit anymore, man. You just use it to like level up characters to level 70, and that's pretty much it.